A DNA test has just revealed something that nobody was ready for after years of subtly disparaging, cryptic songs and unresolved tension. Is this whole romance a gigantic fake made up in Harlem? Or are we really going to say goodbye to Jim Jones and Chrissy forever? Anonymous people who stole direct communications and a convoluted series of removed Instagram postings claim that Camron is the biological father of Is Someone Playing Chess, while the rest of us watch reality TV checkers? Or is this the controversy that eventually destroys Dipset and Love and Hip Hop forever? Settle in for a messy but simultaneously career-ending, relationship-destroying, and legacy-crushing situation. Oh, and Jim is still in the dark. And guess what, Chrissy's kid? The findings of the random medical test she said she took for health? Reasons turned out to be a thorough paternity test, and they're more outrageous than an unprotected reunion. Showed up on Instagram with a 30-year-old football player and a trust fund. As if she had just come from an island vacation, she looks refreshed. That glow isn't from skincare, and sis looks pregnant. Naturally, Chrissy maintained her cool and shared a few old videos of herself and Jim Jones pretending that nothing was out of the ordinary. But something was happening behind the scenes, with awkward looks, awkward silences, and people unfollowing and re-following each other like indecisive teens. Was all building to something explosive. And now that a DNA test has validated what started as a rumor, yes. Killer cam that purportedly connects him to a child, Chrissy never even made public, the internet is in full meltdown mode. How did we get here, then? First of all, the once untouchable Dipset dynasty began to slowly show signs of weakness years ago. So this isn't the first time that Camron and Jim Jones have had an odd friction simmering beneath the surface. It all screamed something ain't right, but supporters brushed it off as a brothers' fight, claiming it was political scheming in Harlem. But it turns out that baby scandals and paternity testing are part of Harlem politics. Here's where it gets shady. In late 2023, as Jim was filming his solo spin-off series, Chrissy and Camron were supposedly rekindling an old acquaintance. Insiders say this was either a coincidence or the perfect opportunity to get a behind-the-camera look at unfinished business. Chrissy's complaints about Jim's immaturity and emotional instability allegedly caused the tone to shift. After that, things became murky with late-night FaceTimes and intermittent meetings. And ultimately, one crew member who wished to remain anonymous said that they spent an entire weekend in Miami that nobody was supposed to know about. Now that we all know, though, it becomes more complicated because the same crew member asserts that Chrissy began acting suspiciously after getting back from the trip to Miami. She started to guard her phone, stayed away from Jim, and worst of all, started avoiding the cameras altogether. Chrissy reportedly refused Mona Scott's request to sit down for a confessional interview, claiming she wasn't in the appropriate frame of mind, according to production. 3 months later, Chrissy abruptly stops drinking in front of the camera, starts dressing more loosely, and experiences an unexplained breakdown while filming. When asked what that meant, she reportedly breaks down in tears and leaves. What more screams pregnant than that? The catch, however, is that this isn't only about a secret baby. It's also about whose baby it is purported to be. Back in February, Camron shared a now-deleted Instagram story with a description. Some things you got to claim even if that scene never aired. Because apparently legal blocked it from airing because personal medical information was referenced without consent. This prompted fans to start finding small inaccuracies. It was removed for invasion of privacy 2 days later after a burner account shared a grainy image of Cam and Chrissy at a covert clinic in Jersey, both of them wearing masks and sweatshirts, and clearly not wishing to be seen. But it was already screenshotted and going around like burning gossip at a church barbecue by then. I swear Harlem has officially eaten itself if that's Cam and Chrissy at a lab, one person remarked on Twitter. Another remarked that when his girl was going to Cam for pregnancy appointments. Jim was out here with Fat Joe doing weather reports. Additionally, remember the timing. Jim posted a video of himself rapping in the studio that same week, saying, "I've been betrayed by those clothes, but I never show it. Harlem's still mine. I just don't always know it." Reddit threads and blogs went crazy. And Toke had full PowerPoint presentations called The Fall of Jim and Chrissy, which was a timeline of deceit, DNA, and Dipset. Nevertheless, the last straw was when 8 wasn't an awful contest at first. Let's just say that Chrissy left crying and Cam departed grinning. Let that sink in now. Jim was totally ignorant of the child's paternity, at least not at the time, which is said to have roots in Harlem's most erratic rapper. What transpires next transforms this from yet another celebrity betrayal into a full-fledged psychological thriller, because whether Chrissy wanted it or not, someone was going to spill the beans. It wasn't Cam or Mona, but Mama Jones, according to reports. Jones found out about the incident weeks ago when she spoke with a former VH1 intern who came clean because she thought Mama was already aware of it. Come again. You can imagine how quickly that conversation turned into a 4-minute voice memo with too many swear words to count. Mama Jones allegedly responded to the intern's statement that it's crazy how Cam's been sneaking around with Chrissy like nobody's going to find out. That same night, according to sources, Mama Jones confronted Jim, knocking on his condo door and shouting, "Your girl's pregnant, and it ain't yours." Security was called when the neighbors heard it, and Jim initially didn't think she was telling the truth. But curiosity kills loyalty. So Jim did what any suspicious man in denial would do. While Chrissy was asleep, he searched her phone and found audio notes, screenshots, and a hidden folder called Miami. Jim sat there, staring at his phone as though it had just struck him in the chest until the entire reality suddenly hit him. Time-stamped selfies of Chrissy and Camron at a posh condo. A video of them on a yacht and Cam shirtless with Chrissy were all found in that hidden folder. Giggling, and there's a voice in the background saying, "You guys are going to have a gorgeous baby." "I meant what I said last night. Whatever happens, I got you," Cam replied. As the audio notes sounded even more forceful after Jim had played that video 8 times. "I'm afraid it's yours," remarked another Chrissy in a whisper. Others who lived next to the building claimed that, boom, Jim broke a wine glass against the kitchen wall, waking Chrissy up in the middle of the night and generating pandemonium, which prompted security to be called. Jim allegedly engaged a private investigator to follow Cam's whereabouts. Chrissy's phone conversations, and any other evidence that would demonstrate this was more than a drunken error but a persistent treachery. Our source stated that the PI report has 47 pages. The true surprise is that Jim didn't stop at the phone snooping. Chrissy and Camron left a Midtown hotel 20 minutes later, dressed in sweatpants and slippers, visibly distressed, and headed for an Uber SUV. No, that is not how Harlem Pride folds. 34, Chrissy's cousin, who is apparently helping her stay under the radar during this whole affair, receives a wrapped box from Cam at her apartment. The destination is indicated by page 41 receipts from a private clinic that were time-stamped precisely. 1 week following the Miami excursion, Chrissy isn't just some naive 22-year-old who fell in love. She's a mature lady who has been with Jim for decades, despite his unwillingness to marry her for, say, 15 years, arrests, and financial hardships. She says no when Jim finally pops the question on national TV, and people start to doubt whether she was ever really devoted or Camron has been eerily silent about it. All no clapbacks, denials, or press releases. Just vibes, but this week he posted a video clip from the old Dipset "I Really Mean It" video with the message, "Some bonds break, some just evolve." Was she just waiting for a way out? Come on stage, left Camron wearing a smirk cam and a fur coat. Anyway, fans went nuts and I'm still standing. According to one comment, the most Camron thing ever is Cam confirming the affair without confirming the affair. This is comparable to what would occur if a friend had had a mixtape. But this is where the scandal becomes nasty, since CHRISSY allegedly walked straight to Cam's house after leaving Jim's condo that evening and hasn't been back since. Twitter was a crime scene, where CHRISSY Dunn became pregnant by Jim's closest friend, and the internet went insane. Someone dials Tyler Perry because this is the final game. Even celebrities started making comments in Cumbella, and this isn't even reality TV anymore. "Some women drink water, some drink wine," she said, as the caption on a photo she shared. Then came the audio leak, which allegedly showed Jim Jones crying and talking to an unnamed friend, saying, "I should have never trusted him, bro." Y'all forgot that these Harlem boys are different, and loyalty isn't in their vocabulary. Was. Tahiri's tweet, "He understood my feelings for her. Oh, she and he were aware." What hurts is that it wasn't an accident. Some admirers sympathized with the footage once it went viral. While Camron has not publicly acknowledged or denied the DNA results, insiders claim that he is preparing an honest podcast episode called Confessions of a Harlem Gentleman, in which he allegedly intends to clear the air and clarify the details of his alleged affair with his friend's long-term fiancé, with whom he may have a relationship. Others are making jokes, and some are asking why people are forgetting that Jim cheated on CHRISSY 7 times in public. Good point, but 2 wrongs still don't make a paternity test. We'll have to wait and see, but rumors have it that Cam doesn't regret anything he said, even though the Dip It chain has officially been melted down into baby toys. According to a source close to him, Cam isn't saying sorry for anything he said, claiming that Jim wasn't real with him in the first place, so why keep up a fake friendship? CHRISSY, on the other hand, is reportedly very emotional, but she is sticking to her decision, telling them, "I'm not proud of how it went down, but I won't apologize for choosing peace." You're hiding in Cameron's guest room, ma'am, while the internet fans are calling for a public showdown, saying they want Jim versus Cam, Harlem versus Harlem, Baby versus Blunt, and VH1 foaming at the mouth. Jim has gone silent, deleted multiple Instagram posts, turned off comments, and canceled a public appearance at a club in Brooklyn, citing mental health issues. The baby is reportedly due in September, but if the timeline aligns, there will be no gender reveal, announcement, or baby shower photos, just silence and chaos. An offer for an exclusive televised sit-down between CHRISSY, Cam, and Jim is already on the table, with Mama Jones acting as the surprise moderator. Would it happen, or would the truth only make things worse? Speaking of truth, this is where the Harlem drama becomes a full-fledged legal drama, because just when you think it can't get any more toxic, Tanya J. Cameron's ex from his Purple Haze era emerges out of the shadows with an Instagram live that had, but let me tell you, that Cam is genuinely cunning, manipulative, and reckless with people's hearts. CHRISSY wasn't the first person he used, and she won't be the last. With all this stress, people started to wonder if Tanya was just clinging to her power or if she knew something we didn't, because she posted alleged text messages within 48 hours. Tanya, dressed in a silk robe and sipping wine, is shown saying, "I'm not going to stay quiet anymore. You all worshiping this fake Harlem gentleman? Keeping everyone's jaws on the ground as they fall in love?" 4 months ago, she and Cam sent a message that read, "Cam, you always had my back." At this point, things really go south, because a cease and desist letter that was allegedly sent to Tanya by Cameron's legal team was leaked by a gossip website, ordering Tanya to stop spreading false information, defamatory content, and unsanctioned correspondence that implies paternity issues. These new girls are just drama. Tanya then stopped chasing toxic women and went back home. That's right. Tanya claims that Cam was still having sex with her while CHRISSY was already pregnant. The key query in Cameron Giles's infidelity allegations is, why issue a legal threat if there is nothing to conceal? Jim Jones's legal team formally requested the original DNA report a day after Tanya's live performance, citing emotional damages, defamation by association, and paternity fraud implications. Wait, what paternity fraud? Because there are now rumors that the test was tampered with, that the entire circus was set up, and that Chrissy falsified the results. Apparently, Jim's camp took notice. It seems that Camron backed out, stating, "I already know what it is. I don't need no tests to tell me what my heart already knows." However, it sounds too unbelievable to be true that Cam was tricked into protecting her while trying to emotionally destroy Jim. VH1 sources claim that Chrissy first refused a second test when VH1 producers asked for it for insurance reasons. On TikTok, only that statement became viral, with some people labeling it romantic and others labeling it insane. One TikTok user commented, "Bro believes he's in a Netflix drama after stitching the video." This is Love and Hip Hop, Maury edition. Family, according to reports, Mama Jones is planning a press conference and prayer circle in Harlem this weekend in an effort to reveal the true enemy and promote spiritual healing and enlightenment. They'll see. They know who they are. "I've got ancestors prepared to speak," she said when asked who the true enemy is. She then winked at the lawyers, ex-partners, and family members. Yes, there are layers to this problem, but don't assume Jim Jones is just sitting around sobbing quietly. According to rumors, he has been spotted with Camilla, Jules Santana's ex, on what looks to be a new leaked email purportedly from Mona's office to VH1 executives reveals that she's reimagining the Love and Hip Hop franchise and looking to build an entire spin-off series around the Chrissy Cam Jim fallout workings. Fans took blurry paparazzi photos of them walking side by side while dining in Soho at midnight, leaving the internet divided over whether this retaliation is a rebound, or if Jim is trying to secure his own narrative before the next storm hits. The pitch, called Love and Lawsuits, Harlem Reckoning, includes a legal deep dive with celebrity attorneys' private therapy sessions filmed live. Camron's fatherhood journey, Jim Jones's emotional comeback, Chrissy's redemption arc, and Mama Jones is set to serve as the show's spiritual advisor and narrator. However, the question still remains. Is Chrissy even safe in all of this? Insiders say she's been receiving threats online and allegedly from unidentified sources requesting her to leave. However, let's face it, if this baby does arrive and it is Cam's, the legacy of Dipset is officially shattered. There will be no studio reunion, no mixtape resurrection, no comeback tour. Just 3 ex-lovers, 1 scandal, and a Harlem community split right down the middle. According to an anonymous source who claims to be close to Chrissy, she said, if this is the fire she has to walk through to get free, so be it. She's done protecting everyone else's image. In the meantime, Cam has reportedly hired a celebrity crisis PR team to help manage the fallout, according to a leaked memo from the firm. Reframe the narrative. Focus on fatherhood, emphasize growth, and use Harlem nostalgia to rebuild public trust. So, middle fans have already begun taking sides. The town hall is being held in Harlem by a local podcast network to discuss the cultural impact of the betrayal. Yes, it's a town hall about a reality scandal, but this isn't just teeth. This is an ocean of espresso shots. Now, should we wait for a baby pic to surface, for Jim to go live and spill the beans, or for VH1 to use this problem for their own profit like they always do? Since everything is now in the open, the baby, the betrayal, the DNA drama, the ex-partners, and the fake loyalties, this baby is real. We might be seeing the most explosive celebrity triangle of the decade. But one thing is for sure, Harlem might never be the same again. The treachery is public, and the damage is done. Chrissy was playing chess, and Jim was out here playing loyalty. Did Cam actually save the day? Or did he just manage to pull off the ultimate checkmate? Not to mention that DNA test. If it's true, Cam is now the father of the one lady Jim never thought he would have. But if it's not, why was this circus there? How come Jim's silence is deafening? the time frames don't match, and the stories don't fit if it's a fake. What will happen next after the real-time fall of a Harlem dynasty through a documentary, but by leaks, mayhem, and viral messenzes? Will Chrissy disappear? The baby belongs to Jim? Will he battle for custody? Will Camron's poignant album about forgiveness and fatherhood alter the course of events? Tell me, because this is more than just rumors anymore. It's war, legacy, and the beginning. Kindly leave a comment with your ideas. Who should Jim forgive, in your opinion? Does Cam need to retake the test? Is Chrissy the bad guy or the bad guy? Please remember to switch on, like, and subscribe. The warning, as trust me, the next phase of this Harlem controversy is already developing, and you don't want to ignore it.